Another Ants on a Rock video. Welcome to the Ant Corner.
Hey there Ant fans, welcome back to another video. I'm Tom from Ants on a Rock, but you can just call me Mr. Rock or whatever you want to call me. In this video, I just want to show you one of my really successful setups that I use for founding stages of my ant colonies. This is one that I made myself, and it's really basic, but it works amazingly. In fact, it's the one that the imposters grew up in, and as you know, they are doing so much better than all my other colonies put together. It's insane, and I'm putting it down to them starting in this nest. I'll tell you why as I go through it. Let's have a little look. So this enclosure started its life as a lunchbox. I cut a big hole in it and then covered it with a red filter, taped it down really tight with layers and layers of tape. I then put 2 holes into the outside, one in the top you can see here, and one in the front that you can't quite see, but it is here. Let's take the lid off and have a little look inside. So as you can see, it's a really basic setup. You can now see the other air hole there on the left hand side. I fill the air holes with cotton wool balls, but I don't put it so tight that they can't breathe through it, but the air will flow through it much like you do at the end of a test tube. This is because the lid seals really tightly. I'm not sure if any air actually gets through. I use a basic Fluon barrier to keep them in, and it's worked successfully so far. I use a sand base, and this basically will stop the test tubes from rolling about. It will give them substrate to make a barrier with, which as you can see, they've taken a lot of the sand and substrate from in here and taken it into the test tube to make a little barrier, make the test tube smaller for themselves, and make them feel more safe and secure. This will encourage the queen to lay more eggs, so this is ideal and what you want. And although the test tube does have a red filter covering most of it, I do use the sand to cover that back area and really keep it extra dark. This again will aid the queen to lay more eggs. Because the lid seals really tightly, it does actually keep humidity really well. I've also added just a couple of little sprigs of sphagnum moss that you can probably see there in the sand. Again, this is massively helpful for humidity, which is needed for a successful colony. Saying about the lid, I have a theory that because I keep the lid on about 99% of the time, I only take it off for the brief second that I put food in and remove the old food. And then I keep them pretty much in the dark. Because it's a red filter, and most of my ants can't see red. So this means that their outworld area as well as their nest area is pretty much constantly in the dark, which encourages them to go out and forage more freely, not worrying so much about the light and predators at this early founding stage. Again, this makes a massive difference in my opinion. Sometimes you can have a founding colony, but they are really timid and scared to come out during the light time hours. This just gives them more opportunity, almost 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that they can come out in the dark and forage, feeling very safe. Another really great thing about this setup is there's ample room to add a couple more test tubes as the colony grows and needs more space for nesting. Meaning you can keep them in here for a really long time if you want to. I only moved out the imposters because the test tubes they were in were filthy and I could see they were a really strong colony. And the setup I got for them was one where they could dig their own nest to the size of their colony, so it actually worked perfectly for them. I would actually keep most colonies in here from founding stage up until the point I literally can't keep them in anymore, and then I would put them in a bigger setup. So I hope you enjoyed that little video. Give me a little comment if you've made something similar. I'd like to know, I'd like to see it. You can send me a little picture if you like, and I might even feature it on the channel in the future. That'd be really cool. So make sure you're subscribed, hit that little bell icon for me, and feel free to even hit the like button on this video. It'd be really amazing. But as always from me, see you again Ant fans. And a massive thanks to my Patreon supporters making this whole channel possible. Jason Walker and Kevin Broderson, you're absolutely amazing. If you're watching this and interested in supporting my page, follow the links in the description to my Patreon page. See you again, Ant fans.